Welcome to Ink and Bones. My name is Jaden, and in this video we're going to go through the sketch layout and pencils of page 17 of my creator-owned Halloween comic book. Let's get drawing. So for page 17, Patti, Jack, and Timmy, our hero characters, are now eating the stolen treats that they have recovered from the bullies. The bullies have been scared off, and now the night has kind of gone back to a sort of calm. So for this page, rather than being objective focused, I rather just wanted to talk about a topic. And the main topic I wanted to focus on is knowing when to add or remove something from a page. And before we start the layout, I accidentally only recorded one portion of this, so it's a rather quick layout. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get cracking on the layout while we go over our topic. You'll notice that the bullies look a little bit different than page 16, I believe. I kind of updated their costumes. I will be going back before doing the final inks. I got to edit a lot of costumes here and there, especially Patti and Jack's, but the bullies, I made them more diverse in their costumes and kind of tried to give them a more of a bully look. I honestly still might go back and fix them up even more. So just in case if you notice that first panel, it's the bullies have been redone compared to page 16. So for page 17, when it comes to what to add and what to remove from the page, especially in the very beginning sketch process, it mainly just comes down to what beats do I need to hit for that page. And for page 17, I would say the main points that I wanted to hit are the bullies running away scared and the hero characters kicking back and eating the candy. So when constructing the layout, I'm thinking of how do I get to these specific moments? What can I add before? What can I add in the middle? And what can I add after to keep it nice and fluid of a page? What counts as suitable filler panels in between the main beats that I want to hit? For instance, the page starts off with the bullies being scared on the written portion of it. So instead of just the bullies running off scared, to make that scene feel a little bit more lived in, we see the bullies looking scared upwards. Jack is screaming at them downwards. The bullies take off, they're running through the cemetery. And actually, that scene didn't really hit for me the whole time until right at the very end, I added something which totally increased the flow of the page. And that was actually the deciding factor of why this video is about what it's about, because I really didn't like this page until I added this one little panel, which we'll see at the end. So we got rid of the bullies. The second beat that I needed to hit was the hero characters relaxing and eating the once stolen treats. And as far as when I'm adding things or thinking of panels to draw, that's one of the main things that's in the back of my head is, does this have a purpose? Most of the time you got to depict what is written very deliberately, but other times there isn't stuff that's written, but through the visuals it could really enhance that scene that has been written, if that kind of makes sense. If it doesn't enhance the scene in some type of way, I'm probably going to scrap it. Now, to my ability that I am right now, this is the best that I can do. I'm sure down in the future, I can think of 100 more things that I should have done for this, but as of right now, when I'm doing these pages, I'm putting in as much emphasis on what I think these characters would actually be doing, given the circumstance that they're in. And there were some things that I did initially have sketched out, but they didn't really add too much, or it kind of maybe felt repetitive. For instance, in the written word, I do have it saying like very specific candy that is being eaten, it rhymes and shit. I just felt some close-up shots of them eating candy, the heroes. I don't know, it just didn't really, I could capture them relaxing, chilling in the same spot the bullies did, also eating candy, and set kind of more of a tone rather than just like a close-up shot of one of them having their lips puckered, or one of the like caramels filling their mouth or something like that. The showing of them having a close-up shot just would have felt repetitive. Now this could have been cool, I just didn't do it really because time, but I was gonna put like a border of candy at the bottom. That also was when I had more space, but now because I've added this other panel that of the bullies running away, it kind of took away some space, but I was still able to get that point across that they're eating the candy, so I didn't really need to draw more candy. So for an example of something that actually improved the page once it was added, it goes from Jack yelling to the bullies running away, and we see our hero characters waving by. I feel like that was kind of cut to that scene. It jumped and it didn't really flow as far as I was looking at it. Couldn't even really tell what was happening in the page or in the panel of them waving by. But I added the profile shot of seeing them running through the graveyard, ripping up the tombstones as they're running. You can actually see the speed at which they're running, and then it kind of makes more sense of the next panel of them waving by, and they're way down the horizon with, you know, the screaming following them as it's decreasing in size the farther it goes. Usually less is more. That's always going to be the answer most of the time. Sometimes you do need to add just a little bit of something. One little thing can really improve a scene. So to wrap up this topic, before we get to the final pencil reveal, what can you as an artist add or take away to help move the story along visually? What beats do you need to hit specifically for that page to work? Figure those out and work your way to and from them. A good rule of thumb is just sketch out every sort of angle, every position you think that would work, and Humpty Dumpty it together, and you'll find yourself having a pretty solid page. But alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and do the final scroll of the pencils for page 17. The bullies ran screaming, they cried for their parents. Jack and Patti said, "See, Timmy, now that's some good scaring." Now the three heroes sat, eating handfuls of chocolates. Some were nougat-stuffed coffins or caramel-filled goblets. Some were so sour they made their lips pucker, and others had gum in the center of suckers. And that about wraps it up for the page 17 pencils. Join next time to see Patti, Jack, and Timmy walk home and get to the end of this Halloween night. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, consider subscribing. Go ahead and slash that like button. And if you want to see the pages that I've penciled so far, go ahead and check out the Patti and Jack playlist. But for now, this has been another episode of Ink and Bones, and I will see you on the next page.